HOA Karen's laugh was a hyena's cackle, sharp enough to make my eardrums flinch. She waddled toward my car, her sister my trailing like a loyal attack dog, both of them radiating the kind of entitlement that could choke a room. It was a sweltering August afternoon on a narrow street in Queens, the kind of day where the asphalt shimmered and tempers boiled over like forgotten soup. I'd honked once, lightly because HOA in her oversized SUV had cut me off at a stoplight, nearly clipping my bumper. That single honk was apparently a declaration of war. "You think you own this road, huh?" HOA bellowed, her voice dripping with disdain as she loomed over my driver's side window. She was a mountain of a woman, her floral dress straining at the seams, her face twisted into a sneer that screamed she'd never been told no. My, leaner but no less venomous, egged her on, smirking as she leaned against my car's hood. "Honk again, loser," my taunted, tapping her manicured nails on my mirror. "See what happens." I gripped the steering wheel, my knuckles whitening. All I wanted was to get to the grocery store before it closed, not star in some unhinged reality show. But HOA and my weren't just annoyed, they were performing, feeding off each other's rage like a pair of over-caffeinated vultures. The street was tight, cars piling up behind us, horns blaring in a chorus of frustration. I should have stayed calm, but HOA's next move lit the fuse. She slammed her fist on my hood, leaving a dent the size of a grapefruit. "You're nobody," she spat, her eyes gleaming with the kind of glee only a bully knows. My, not to be outdone, grabbed my side mirror and yanked it clean off with a sickening snap. The crowd, three onlookers who'd stopped to gawk, gasped, one fumbling for their phone to record. My heart pounded, but I wasn't about to let these two steamroll me. "You're paying for that," I said, my voice steady despite the adrenaline. "Pay." HOA laughed, tossing her head back. "You're lucky I don't sue you for harassment." I nodded, tossing the broken mirror onto the pavement like it was trash. That's when I noticed the flashing lights in my rearview. Two cops, Officer Daniels and Officer Ruiz, were weaving through the stalled traffic, their faces grim. HOA didn't see them yet. She was too busy jabbing a finger at me, ranting about disrespect and low-class drivers. "Ma'am, step back," Officer Daniels called, his voice cutting through HOA's tirade like a knife. She froze, her sneer faltering as she turned to face the officers. My, suddenly less bold, backed up a step, her bravado crumbling. "What's this about?" HOA demanded, folding her arms as if she could intimidate the law itself. The crowd grew, a few more phones now pointed our way, capturing every second of the sisters' unraveling. Daniels, a stocky man with a no-nonsense stare, gestured to the dented hood and shattered mirror. "We got a call about a disturbance. Care to explain?" His partner, Ruiz, was already talking to the onlookers, jotting down notes. I stayed quiet, letting the evidence speak. Me car looked like it had been through a bar fight, and I hadn't laid a finger on anyone. HOA's story came fast and sloppy. "This guy was tailgating us, honking like a maniac," she lied, her voice climbing an octave. I chimed in, claiming I'd threatened them. I raised an eyebrow, pointing to the dash cam blinking on my windshield. "Check the footage," I said coolly. "It's all there." The officers exchanged a glance, and HOA's face went from smug to sour in a heartbeat. While Ruiz retrieved the dash cam, Daniels kept HOA and my talking, their lies piling up like a house of cards in a windstorm. "He's lying," HOA insisted, her voice cracking as she sensed the tide turning. I tried to pivot, claiming the mirror fell off by accident, but the crowd's murmurs weren't buying it. One of the onlookers, a wiry guy with a bodega apron, piped up. I saw her rip it off. They were screaming at him for no reason. The dashcam footage sealed their fate. It showed HOA's SUV swerving into my lane, my brief honk, and the sisters' unhinged meltdown complete with the hood pounding and mirror smashing. Daniels watched it twice, his jaw tightening. "Ladies, you're looking at vandalism and disorderly conduct, minimum," he said, pulling out his cuffs. HOA's eyes widened, her mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. "You can't arrest me," she shrieked. "Do you know who I am?" "Nope," Ruiz said flatly, cuffing my, who was now sobbing dramatically. But you're about to find out who the judge is. The crowd cheered quietly, a ripple of justice washing over the scene. HOA, still defiant, tried to wrench free, but Daniels was faster, securing her wrists as she hurled insults that only dug her deeper. As the sisters were led to the patrol car, HOA's bravado cracked completely. "This is unfair," she wailed, her floral dress now sticking to her sweat-soaked back. My mascara streaking down her face, muttered about suing everybody. I stood by my battered car, feeling a strange mix of relief and pity. They'd thought they could bully their way through life, but the world had finally pushed back. The officers took my statement, promising the footage would hold up in court. The crowd dispersed, some nodding at me with quiet respect. I drove off, my car rattling but my spirit oddly light. HOA and my would face fines, maybe jail time, but more than that, they'd face the mirror of their own actions, a reflection they couldn't smash. Life has a way of humbling the loudest voices. HOA and my thought they were untouchable, but one honk, one moment of defiance, brought their house of cards crashing down. The street was quiet now, the heat still oppressive, but the air felt cleaner. Sometimes, justice doesn't need a gavel, just a dash cam and a spine. The end.